CORSAIR, DreamHack Masters Dallas 2019. Look at that lovely city. All those people are sweating because it's awfully humid outside, and that is completely natural. I'll also have you know that we are not outside, and that's probably for the best as well. The makeup would run and it would drip down onto the table, and we can't really have all that. Things are going to be messy enough in the server as it is, with G2 and NRG squaring off in this first game. Welcome back, everybody. Tarek there, and Breeze and company ready to get it done. They want to do it in a convincing fashion. This is a path for them nonetheless, a long one albeit, but they are still in the fight here for the Masters of Dallas. My name is Trace, and alongside of me will be Jacob and Matthew. Guys, we are ready to just start diving into this first matchup of the day.
We are, and I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think NRG yesterday didn't really convince me too much playing up against Cloud9, who is an awful team, as you just said before. They're not playing well right now. They don't really have it gotten together. So NRG struggling a little bit against Cloud9, or at least losing a map the way and the fashion they did yesterday. Not too impressed by that. Whereas for G2, I think I've seen some positive signs. So a matchup I would say should be favored to NRG, but considering the performance in this tournament, I'd say it's pretty 50-50.
Let's just look at the path here, Maniac. Walk me through what is okay. So you have a 19-17 over the Renegades, and then you have Ints, and they kind of put you down into the lower bracket, and you're surviving down there at this point.
I mean, I think Jacob made a good point that G2 is not so bad at the moment, but that doesn't seem just quite enough. I mean, sure, they took a map off of Ents, but that is just two. That was a specialist type map for them, not a good map for Ents. And I just think that G2 at the moment, they just need a good start in the game. And that's just with the way the players are, the way Shux is leading. If he gets early rounds for them, then he knows how to abuse it, how to fake strategy and play very fast. But when they hit the brick wall, then they just don't know what to do.
Here's a brick wall for you guys. The veto process. It all starts right now, guys. This is a best of three. Where are we going?
Interesting, right? Because it sounded to Malik as he was pretty sure where it was going. And if I were him, I wouldn't be necessarily too sure. I think it would be a mistake if NRG doesn't end up picking Train. And I think it would be a mistake if G2 doesn't end up picking Inferno, potentially. Because that is the one punish pick you can give to NRG. But apart from that, I think it could go south and north for that matter.
Oh, I would have. Can you imagine if North was playing right now? That would be so perfect. No, I agree with you. Malik sound really sure about what's going to happen. I'm not so sure. I think there are scenarios. I would agree with the Inferno pick for G2 if they have the possibility. Train makes sense for NRG. I guess G2 have to veto Mirage. There's no discussion about that. Now, if you're NRG, do you veto Vertigo or do you float it? I don't really know if G2 is ready on it. They have been playing. They float it. Okay, so they removed us too. A map that has good numbers for them, but they have to respect G2 on that.
Well, we see G2 play Ints yesterday on Dust 2, and I think it's more of a testament to just how weak Ints' Dust 2 is rather than how good G2's is. But we can see glimpses of Kenny S. Now that that's out of the picture, don't even worry about it, NRG.
No, because I think it's a bit of a both right there. I think Ints is not necessarily a good Dust 2 team, but I don't think G2 is that good on Dust 2 either. They're fine, it's the go-to map, but I think it's a very respectable move for NRG to remove it, because as you said, they play Dust 2 pretty fine themselves. We get Train, we get Inferno, the punish pick coming out from G2, the punish pick coming out from NRG. This looks like a 1-1 at this point. Question is, which one is going to be the third?
If I had to make a guess, I would say Overpass is a good middle ground. Both teams can play it. Vertigo is still here. Don't get your hopes up. Maybe, oh, you know what? Why not? If G2 have it as a trump card.
Oh, there it is.
There
G2 said, you know what, we're not going to do that.
You had that smile.
Yeah, I was ready. We haven't seen it thus far. I was pretty excited for the prospect of watching.
Thank God for that, right?
You know, I'm all about playing the new maps. I kind of want to see something like that happen, but of course these teams are in charge of that ultimately. So we do have our maps. Train, Inferno, Overpass. That's where we're going. And first and foremost, let's begin to talk about the woes and perhaps even some of the highs of G2 esports and some of the things that they've been able to accomplish.
There hasn't been many as of lately, let's be honest about it. They have good players, right? They have a lot of potential. Kenny S used to be one of the absolute best players in the world, potentially the best AWP player we've ever seen in the game at some point. Same goes on for Shux. Probably the best rifler we've ever seen in the game at a point. So to see them struggle this much till this day is a little bit sad, I'd say. I find it a little bit, sad. I guess that's the best word for it. But they have still the skill, right? They still have good teammates. They have a guy called Amanek on the team. You see him there. He is, to me, the key player for this lineup. If he's playing well, that can ignite G2 to play somewhat of a great Counter-Strike.
I absolutely agree. I think Amanek is the only one in the G2 lineup that is overperforming right now. He's doing better than he's been doing in 2019. That's the only one. So if you're looking for positive, Amanek, and I would also say Jax. I don't think we talk about Jax too much. I think he's quietly but surely doing what's needed from him. And that is not the case of the other three players. And these are friends of mine, and it hurts me to say it, but Shux and Kenny, they need to wake up now, or the tournament is done for them.
You let them know how you refill. Tell them in French, though. I think it's a little bit better that way. It's a little more convincing.
You want me to do that in French?
Yeah,
ok, bon, Richard, Kenny, si vous m'entendez, c'est le moment de jouer, parce que sinon, ça va pas passer.
I mean, I'm convinced.
Yeah,
I'm
me
also
too.
convinced.
To you?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of spoke on to me on that one. I'm also thinking you're exactly right. Omnic yesterday, 61-47 over Ints. Now, they did take an L, but nonetheless, that's still some numbers to brag about.
It's the way he plays, right? He's very assertive, he's very aggressive, he creates a lot of space for his teammates as well. It's not like a guy you need to give a lot of space, maybe on the CT side in some scenarios, but on the T side, he's the aggressor. He's the one trying to open up the map. So the fact that KNES and Shox and the rest of G2 haven't been able to be that second link, so to speak, in that aggression is a little bit disappointing to me. And as you said, they need to wake up now, otherwise they will have no chance going up against this one.
Well, NRG did put Cloud9 out yesterday in an elimination matchup, and now they're going to keep fighting for life here in Dallas. Tarek, Ethan, Cirque, Breeze, and Daps. And these guys, well, they are touted amongst the best in North America, but the truth is they're still looking to secure that path.
I honestly believe that they have been shaken by that loss against Freya at the beginning of the tournament. 16-7, I don't think they had expected that in any way. And it took them a while to come back online in this tournament. You know, they dropped the first match against Cloud9. We are all looking scared. We don't really know what's happening. And then they come back to life. They stabilize. And slowly but surely you start seeing signs of life on the side of NRG. I think Ethan is having a great tournament. Breeze is actually being a human being right now. He's been the monster for the longest time, but Tarek is compensating. Tarek is overperforming if you consider 2019. So all in all, you know, 4 players in a pretty good shape. Daps is being Daps, which is basically in-game leading, and I'm not going to comment further on that.
Well, here's the thing about Daps, right? He is the in-game leader of this team, but so many teams have moved away from the traditional style of an in-game leader. Daps being one of the I guess, vintage, one of the only remaining true IGLs in the game, not known for his fragging.
MSL is still alive, don't forget that. He's not at this tournament, he's not really at any tournaments at the moment, but maybe he will be in the future. That said though, you're right? It's a tendency that you see more and more teams going towards these aim-heavy in-game leaders, the in-game leaders that can also frag out. But when you have a team composition consisting of Breeze, Ethan, Cirque, and even Tarek now on the lineup as well, you don't need more firepower. You just need to find a way to make them work. Sort of like we see it with FaZe now. Neo is not necessarily needed to frag out. He just needs to make Nico, Olaf Master, Rain, and Guardian frag for him. And if he can do that, then job done, and that's fine.
I mean, I agree, and I think we have to pay respect to what Daps has achieved with that lineup before he joined in. They weren't anywhere near that level, so sure, he did something great. I just think that there's going to be a glass ceiling at some point if you cannot put 5 players together that frag.
Well, we're going to put 2 players together right now, and it's going to be a head-to-head. It's brought to you by X-Men The Dark Phoenix. That's right, in cinemas near you around June 5th to 7th, depending on where you find yourself. But it's Ethan and Omnic that we're going to highlight here. And these two have, I guess, lethality in their own rights within their teams.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about Omnic and how he's been performing in this event. Completely overperforming 2019. He's finally coming on his own. That is only 4 maps, so I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but yes, Jacob said it very well. He creates space, and more importantly, he thrives under chaos. And that is a quality that not so many players have. Whenever there's 3 smokes around him and super many timing to find, he will do it. He will do it, and he will act on it. And he's a clever player.
As clever as you all think you are in chat right now, you're not clever enough to outsmart our statistics team who are actively crunching the numbers as you vote in chat.
You clearly don't know Twitch yet.
NRG, hashtag G2. I know you wildlings out there are ready to get things going in Twitch chat. I haven't seen much spam this morning, but now's your opportunity to vote on who you think will win. And in that same notion, we will start to turn the tides here and look within our own desk, within our own 3 persons here, and maybe predict who we think is going to win this one.
Coming into the tournament, I would have had no doubt saying that if NRG were to face G2, NRG would be heavily favored. That said though, as I said, G2 have been looking okay. It's not like a team that is finally finding their shape or finding their form yet, but it's getting better, I feel. As said, we have seen them not play, you know, the best Counter-Strike, but it's been on the base of Omnic playing well. If you have a KNES coming in hot, if you have a Shox coming in hot, you never know what to expect from them. So considering the maps, considering the shape that G2 are in right now, and considering the fact that we saw NRG yesterday not really impressed me against Cloud9, I think this one is going to be a very close one.
So what you're saying is...
We don't know.
You didn't give a... I don't think they could just throw a question.
Oh, you want a prediction?
Yeah, that's what I want, a prediction.
Sure. I think NRG is going to win on Overpass, which is going to be the 3rd map.
All right, and I think Jacob is spot on when he says if KNES and if Shox shows up, then we have a game. And I'm gonna, you know, take my baguette and go and take a risk with it. I'm gonna say Shox and KNES will come alive in this day finally, and then G2 is gonna make it 2-1.
Taking a risk with your baguette is a very, very interesting concept. I'll have to go and think about that one on my own time. In the meantime, there's something about North American pride, and there's something about all of that goodness. However, I am going to France next week, so I'm gonna pull for NRG.
Allez les Bleus.
Yeah, Gemapel Stunna. There we go. Sorry, that's about as good as I've got. Nonetheless, okay, so we've got our predictions out of the way. We did get a vote from you guys in the Twitch chat, but ultimately, is there anything else that can be said? Maybe some sort of kryptonite on either side of these?
Look out for Cirque against KennyS. I think that's going to be a vital duel in this game. KennyS have not had the best year. We know his capabilities. We know how good he is with AWP. Cirque is a guy that we maybe not talk enough about being bad at the moment. He was so good last year, but this year it's been more average. So whoever of those two comes alive is definitely going to give their team an edge in this game.
I agree. And I would say lucky, and for the wrong reasons, because I think he's been a complete miss at the moment. He's my one disappointment in that team. I know he can do better, and I hope he shows up today.
Well, don't be disappointed of yourselves, because you can still grab a ticket here to the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters in Dallas. You can come down and see the arena in all its glory right here live and in person by heading over to DreamHack.com/tickets. And I'll have you know, if you didn't know before, the frozen margarita machine was invented in Dallas. Also, the microchip.
How do you
guys know that?
Nah, but I do now, so thanks.
No problem. No problem, man.
You're better now.
I'll be here all day. Yeah, make sure you grab your tickets. I think we can start to talk about some Twitch results, see if you guys are all on the same page with us. But in the meantime, guys, I think we've made a pretty clear and concise case as to some of the headbutts that are going to happen within the server.
Yeah, we have. And there's so much talent on the server, I'd say. Ethan, Breeze, Cirque, KennyS, Shocks, new stars, old stars, you know, a lot of individual skills. So no matter what and how ugly this game is going to be, it should be a fired up game. It should be chaotic.
Who are you calling old? Who are you calling old? Because I'm the same age as these players go.
Both of you are pretty goddamn old, to be honest. I'm still young. But anyway, there's a lot of talent on the server, and I think it's going to be a fired up match regardless.
Okay, yeah, well, let's fire it up right now. I got two individuals ready to go. These guys have been sweating. I saw them out there running laps in the parking lot this morning. I think they were on scooters, but whatever.
Doing push-ups behind the analyst desk?
Yeah, doing the Rocky scene up on top. Anyway, we have Moses. We have Anders. These guys are going to be your storytellers for the first part of the day.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much to the desk. I actually think it's going to be a really interesting game. I kind of look forward to this. I don't actually know what to expect, but I think it's going to be fun.
Well, I mean, should know what to expect. We watched G2 like 2 times on train now, right? So what you can say is they're going to be able to fight on the CT side. It's the T side where, you know, things are going to get maybe a bit dull, a bit flat for the French side. But certainly both these teams at the moment feel very up in the air, don't they? Like, both of them, I feel like, aren't meeting the expectations that are set.
It's a new day, isn't it? Like, you know,
There's been a lot of new days.
There have been a lot of new days. I still just think it's going to be a little bit better. I've been excited by Jax. I think Amanek is playing well. I think Lucky is doing what he needs to do. I'm not really disappointed in any of those. I just think they need Kenny like to do a little bit more. Like I don't actually think it, like, in terms of, you know, having a good fight against NRG here, I think it's possible. Like they could do something. But you know, yesterday was definitely a little bit rough on the Kenny front, at least for some of it.
It certainly was. I mean, he had a couple. I mean, he had like that highlight round on Dust 2. He had a couple really good impactful rounds, but I mean, overall, the whole product wasn't necessarily there to have a consistent all presence. And I mean, the Dust highlighted as well. Cirque also being quiet. Both these guys maybe perhaps suffering a little bit from high expectations on them as individual players. I mean, Kenny has such a massive legacy and history to live up to that I think no matter what we see from him, it's always going to feel disappointing in some regard. So that's unfortunate in that sense. But you're going to have to see both of them today. This is an elimination match. One of these teams is going home after this series.
Yes, indeed. Well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's NRG and G2 on train. So it's a best-of-3 game, and G2 are going to be starting on the CT side with NRG on the T side. And already pushing out with that P250, in fact, leading the charge. And oh my god, he got knocked out, didn't he? Breeze down. Kenny instantly with the USP one shot, and Jax to follow it up. Jax continuing, in fact. I think that push is dead and it's grounded. Like, there's nothing to come back from this. Kenny landing it again, and it's all going to be on Daps. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. Part of it, there was just no pressure anywhere. That hit was a little bit disconnected. Once Breeze goes down, especially when KennyS gets that, 3 players from G2 are all focused on Ivy, where the main brunt of that attack is coming from, and they're able to shut it down with ease. Really good opening kill for Kenny, and a good pistol round for Kenny and Jax.
You'd really like to see that.
Yeah, that's like first step, first objective accomplished, right?
Now they just need to hold on to it, which for this round should be fine, right? Surely no problems.
They should be fine this whole half. They have a really cool style on this CT side of train. I really like kind of the way that they work their retakes, especially on that outer bomb side. I think G2 does a very good job of being able to get players in the proper position. Like I said, it's going to be that second half, that offensive side for the Frenchmen that you'll really start to see some of the deficiencies.
That grenade did 1 damage to 2 players, Moses. That was...
What are the odds of that? Here we go. Trying to run out upper. Getting taken down. A lot of presence at the center bomb site, and the rotations were very nearby as well. That's something we can watch out for also, because we saw in the NRG versus, I believe it was Cloud9 game on Train. NRG had a couple of those rounds where they just try and walk out upper ramp with no nades, just try and go for some kind of a contact play.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we like to see that kind of thing, but if it doesn't work, you should probably stop doing it, and it seemed like they didn't.
It is one of those plays that you call, and if it works, you're like, oh, that's really, really cool. But if it fails, you're like, these guys are kind of dumb.
Yeah, it feels like you should be doing it a little bit later in the game when it's like, you know, like some of the attention has been taken, some sort of pattern has already been established, and then suddenly you pull that out and everyone's like, oh, wait, there were no grenades, and suddenly we're dead. Like, if you're lucky in this position and somebody, I mean, he can obviously see them crossing, but if somebody walks out upper without any grenades, like you're down on the low ground of the bomb side there, that can be really lethal. I just feel like they did a lot in that game and not much happened. We're seeing a lot of SGs in play. Like, I feel like from, you know, sort of picking up a little bit the rate of it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's that Kenny that we all love.
Well, I imagine Breeze like saw him jump across and was like, yeah, I don't think Kenny spotted me. I'm like over the top of the smoke. I don't think he knew where I was.
He knew.
Yeah, and he did. You were wrong.
Tarek, a little bit of a deeper smoke there, so he has a chance to peek into the bomb site and get a little bit of info. That's in itself is useful.
It gives him an angle to clear out some of the spots for his teammates coming down lower.
Yeah, absolutely right. 45 seconds, and they are pushing through down on the low ground. They're going to get the bomb down too, and Lucky's going to go down Cirque with the follow-up. Kenny landing a shot at least, and actually that's critical. If you didn't do that, that would be a problem. Now we do have a double flank coming in, and those are hard to deal with, because if you get this first guy, you might not realize there's going to be a second one. That Stab's gone down. I think he was flashed and his back turned as well. Tarek and Ethan, now the last one is left, and Ethan's going to be down, and what a great retake here. Kenny with the triple. I mean, you know, whenever I see this kind of start from Kenny, I just don't want to give my hopes up, Moses.
Get your hopes up, Anders.
But then there's another side to me that just, I just want it, you know?
Listen.
I need that.
Let your heart soar, Anders. Get into it.
Well,
if for no other reason other than the fact that it's going to be funny to me when you get crushed.
The heartbreak really sets in.
Yeah, that makes me very happy. That's another cool retake. Shock's on that flank coming down. He gets that first kill, daps over at that first train, and then just continues down sidewalk. He helps clear out in kind of the advanced position. Ethan was pushed up in front of the bomb train to hold off his other teammate who was coming back, and that's a really smart play, especially when you consider so many resources are coming on the flank. Now a double nade, that one's going to miss, and they're already out for the flames. They're running through it. They put a smoke down, and this should still be a slaughter. Bombs on the floor. Shock's
wow.
A little bit of style points coming in. The French came to play today, I think, Anders. I'm going to get my hopes up, and I don't usually do that for French teams. I
mean, if Shocks and Kenny are both going to be dialed in, I don't think this is going to work out for NRG. Like, I actually just still think Shocks could be like a top 3 player in the world. I know that sounds crazy.
It does sound a little bit crazy.
But I actually think
less crazy as someone who's seen him when he was at that level to begin with. Here's Jax pushing in, almost able to get a second. A weird little boost, and the AUG is just going to hold the angle. Amanek only gets 1. Trades across the board into this 3-on-3.
Yeah, this is great trade situation for NRG. What's not great is the fact that Lucky's... Oh, they actually Molotov that up, so they are aware. That's some really heads-up played out of NRG. Wasn't expecting that, because he pushed very quickly behind them. So I thought that was going to beat the timing.
If you've done your research, if you're NRG coming into this train match, you'll have to realize that this G2 defense, they love flanks. They love putting players in positions, pushing towards Ivy, pushing towards Inner. Kenny with 2 kills in this 3-on-3. They're challenging. They're facing over towards Ivy with no utility. And Shox is going to get the final. Suffocating defense for G2.
Wow. 178 ADR on Shox, 10-0 at the moment. I mean, it is early on. But if you're playing against him, you don't want to see that.
No. And if you're NRG as well, you're probably thinking, why is it us who have caught the hot hand of Kenny and Shox in this match? Like, they haven't looked good all week, and here we are, rolling in and getting smashed.
I feel like G2 have looked not good in a really annoying way, where like you could see that they have some of the pieces to make this work.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
ideas are there.
Because there's one thing looking at a team where you're like, well, they don't even have like, they don't really have what it would take to make this work anyway. So then we don't have to get our hopes up, you know? I do feel like this G2 lineup, I don't know if it has, if this has to be the absolute final one. Oh, that's not bad at all. But I feel like I actually do like the people they have on this team. So we just want more out of them. Oh, turning around. Yeah, you totally understand. He just didn't see. He didn't know that there was a second player there.
Well, I think he was going to clear it out. I think he just was a little bit too far forward. That dink comes in before the flashbang even pops. So we talked about how good Kenny and Shox have been playing. Now they have a task at hand. Shox alone at the inner bomb site. Kenny is outside with the AWP. So these guys are going to have to pull this round back, and we'll see how G2 works themselves on this map to give themselves an opportunity to do that while also being safe if they want to save the weapons. Shox is pretty committed.
Yeah, he really is. But then again, when he's playing this kind of a game, I don't know. I don't want to underestimate him. He's by the spindles. They have one flashbang. He's going to turn around for that. Now he's just ready and waiting, and he's going to go for the spray. Takes down two. Amanek is there with a headshot, and will the follow-up as well. This is beautiful. He's going to finish it off with a triple, and they crush that incoming push, no problem. He was turned around for a long time. Was he waiting for a second flashbang, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. Might have been a team flash that he was turned for as well that Amanek was calling he would throw out there. Either way, he almost was a little bit late on turning around, but he handles it well. 5-on-3 for NRG, and they still lose the round. It was, you know, I guess an eco, a small buy with pistols. They didn't really have the rifles to take perfect advantage of it, but still.
You get that double opening, you feel like you should probably get something out of it. So
yes.
Right now, we'll see if they can find a solution here in the middle of the timeout. 6-0 is where things are currently at. And it seems like it's kind of a start that's caught NRG completely off guard, it feels like. You know? Like, I'm glad that they took the timeout now. I feel like that's a smart move.
Well, we'll see what comes from it. Hopefully they've made adjustments. It looks like Cirque has that op, and he's going to go for the pick. He was boosted up in team mid, and he's found Kenny. Another round with an advantage for NRG. What can they do with it?
It's a great find to be getting Kenny out of the round. That AWP on CT side train takes up so much space, so...
Amanek's got it now, so at least they still have the AWP in play.
Yeah, that's going to maybe help them out a little bit. He's down at Ivy as well. It could definitely be smoked off easily enough. And they're really defensive now on the B-bomb side.
He's pushing Ivy with an AWP. If he peeks all the way down, I don't know if he'll find a kill. There is an opportunity for it. I believe that's Cirque. Is that Breeze?
Yeah, I think it's Breeze.
He's going to get caught. Yeah, he is. Just took too long. This has been NRG not really doing much since they got that opening pick. Everyone is concentrated around this dumpster here by T-Spawn as they kind of work their way through exactly what they want to call next. And Jack's now going to follow up that pick with a push, and he's going to shrink this map very fast.
I really like this brand of Counter-Strike that you two are playing here on the CT side. I really think it's exciting. They are not waiting around and not letting NRG sort of regroup and take the initiative back. They're trying to keep the pressure up on them. Now, the bomb should be going down here, but they're locked inside. Like, they're going to be on the bomb when it goes down. There's Cirque dropping. He wasn't ready for it with the AWP. He was looking the right way, but he was not enough. So now 4 versus 3. Bomb planted, but all of the T players are just kind of pinned in. Drop down from Shox. He's going to take care of Daps, and Tarek is next in line. And it's all on Ethan. He's been found out as well. They're all over it. Jax is going to be going down, but again, he had so many angles to cover. Going to be another round for G2.
I don't even know how you're supposed to defend that plant if you're NRG.
You can't.
You had one player coming from Team Mid, one from Ladder, one from the Ivy area with the AWP, and one from Connector, and it's just... There's so many angles, and you could see NRG eventually... I mean, the only way they could have won that is if Daps wins that fight against Shox dropping down Ladder. That's the fight they had to win.
But I think even... Like, when Cirque went down and they were sort of 4 versus 3, they didn't even, like, nobody could help each other out. Like, there was no chance.
They were pinned down. You could see it on the minimap. I mean, everyone was just playing behind trains because they couldn't move. They knew that AWP was at range, and when you don't have one yourself, such a disadvantaged peak. Shock's going to get in the ladder room, do good damage, going to force that part of the hit away. And NRG have lost on all fronts here in this early stage. They wanted to be aggressive. They wanted to get down ladder. Plenty of time for Amanek and Kenny to consider their options. You can see Amanek with this angle, with the AUG. He gives it up right at the correct moment. He was about to be in a fight. NRG, they still want to hit this outside bomb site. They're running out of utility.
Oh, Kenny gave up that angle. I think Tarek was just thinking about it now. He's back in line. Is it going to be the timing? He sees the feet. He definitely knows by now. Going to be calling that into Amanek, who's now, going to be covering that angle. Great communication out of G2. You could definitely see how that works. And now, 4 people on the bomb side here for G2, so they have a lot of presence, but NRG are getting very close to the bomb site, so this is a little bit worrying. If they just explode onto it now, there's going to be really minimal warning. Ethan, you could see him looking right on top, but Shox is going to be there. What a save, helping out Jax. And now they're slowing down a lot. Bomb, well, it's being planted on the other side, and yeah, they're going to be able to put it through. That's a good job.
No flank this time for G2 as well. This is going to be a pretty standard retake. You can see 3 players grouping up in these back lines. Amanek, I don't know if he realizes Daps is steering down this angle. He's completely blind. So is Daps. There it is. He comes clear. Vision opens up, and Daps has that kill. Now the retake continues as they move forward. It's Tarek against the angle, and Lucky's going to turn this corner, and now NRG's dropping the ball. They've lost sight of how to defend this bomb, but Breeze is still alive at Electric Box, and time dwindling. All that's left is the smoke diffuse, but the smoke misses. That is a fluff smoke, and now they just have to give it up.
Oh, it was caught by the corner, wasn't it? I bet he had to try and underhand that, because there was really not like an easy way to bounce it off of anything. And he underhanded a little bit too much, Moses.
It's okay. He's 16-0. He's preserved the deathless scoreline.
That is actually really the important thing, isn't it? So, I'll be honest. Even if they had put the smoke down on top of the bomb, it's not clear to me that they would have won the round.
No, it still wasn't very likely, was it? That is a pretty tough opening round for NRG to win. That was a grind the whole way. They got countered and stopped by the initial utility usage from G2, and then it was just very slow going up to the bomb train. A lot of areas that could have gone wrong. So well managed from NRG. Now they need to build upon it. Jax has $0. Amanek is starting to run low, but there's still 1 to 2 more buys in this G2 defense.
There absolutely is. They've actually spent a lot of their grenades early on. Maybe expecting some sort of change of pace out of NRG. CT side down to, what, 3 smokes and a Molotov? So a little bit lower than I was expecting at, like, you know, a minute and 15.
They might have expected some early pressure due to the fact that NRG's just won that round, opening a round up with fast pressure.
Nice.
This looks like, oh, the inner hit. This is the contact play while they execute outside, and this one, it might work. They've actually done something to give themselves the space, to give themselves that first step in, and Daps has the entries. He's cracked it open. That's Shox' first death of the game, and this is a clean win for NRG. G2 can't even go for it.
I mean, if you're the, you know, the captain and you could do that, that's gonna be a nice little move, isn't it?
That's the thing. I know the Des touched on Daps' fragging, and obviously at different stages in his career, not really known for it. He's picked it up of late. He's been pretty impressive in my mind, all things considered, while also in-game leading for this squad. But he seems to have some very solid, impactful frags in his games.
Oh, Ethan's putting that one up. Don't think that grenade yet is not going to be far enough. But they are at least putting on a little bit of pressure here, just messing around with the remaining 2 players.
They can hunt if they'd like. I mean, the money's not great for NRG, but it would be nice to take these weapons away. Any round you can force Kenny to rebuy an AWP and eat into the economy would be nice. There's just not enough players around, but they do have them boxed in.
Yeah, maybe a last-second kind of fight for Ethan or something if he's really feeling it. Ultimately, it will be a 2nd round out of NRG, so great job for them to be able to turn this around and sort of get something on the board. I really think that's important. Now, timeout being called for G2 instead.
I think one of the coolest things I've noticed that I haven't really touched on too much is G2 have been, I feel like, pretty smart with their timeouts. You know, they're one of those teams that, you know, close to fair down the stretch, they'll be using all 4 timeouts. I've seen them use timeouts out of round wins just to make sure they can still secure and make sure that half goes as well as possible. So, I mean, they're being very active in terms of when they're starting to feel some pressure, when they're starting to feel something slip out of their control, just take that pause, talk things over, get on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, it really is important. Just make sure everybody's in the right frame of mind, and that, you know, even if 1 or 2 people are starting to like doubt what's going on, that's a problem.
How do you game, Anders? Do you use the monitor? Do you put it lower and you're looking like over and down upon it?
No.
Is that your style?
No, I'm actually really worried these days about sort of the ergonomics of it. Like, I don't want to like mess up my neck or anything, so I try and like, you know, make sure I sit up straight and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I do already have like sort of like shoulder and, you know, neck problems, so it's not really making it any worse, Moses. My body's falling apart in, you know, multiple different ways.
Yeah, without any extra help.
Yeah, it was really just happening all on its own, so I was trying to prevent that a little bit longer if possible at all, so.
I've always told you to stop dancing.
Yeah, well, tell Stip, just stop dancing. It is, it's gonna be the 10th round, isn't it? And still heavy grenade users early on. Like, we're still over a minute, and they are really low on the G2 side. Maybe that's fine, but again, it's more like after plants that I'm worried about, you know?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit worrying that this is now 2 rounds in a row that's happened, that they seem to be afraid of some of the early attacks from NRG. That's the only real reason you'd use those nades, that many nades that early, if you're not actually feeling the pressure.
Yeah, I agree. They do have a nice setup over at long or high over at B. That's interesting.
I mean, they're using the double up setup in a very nice way. This one covering his teammate. We saw this defense yesterday, and it worked out very, very well. The other op is watching Ivy, which allows the 2 riflers, Almanac and Jax, to play close up towards team mid and ladder room. So they actually have a pretty aggressive defense, all things considered. Nice flashbang. They're both going to go down. Ethan and Lucky fall. A nice trade, but that's an important kill for Ethan. It stops him from preventing the plant from going in. Now Breeze in the lurk. He's got Kenny. There's one more towards team mid that he doesn't know about just yet, but how do they get this retake on? They still have to deal with Breeze.
I mean, as long as they don't find him, it's going to be very slow. There it finally happens, but
They're giving up, yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to take too long. I think it would have been different if Shox could have had a realistic chance of taking a fight against somebody in B. But he was wedged up against that wall in the corner, and I don't know, I kind of understand why he didn't want to do that.
It's nice to see, we mentioned it earlier, NRG, we watched them do a bunch of utility, like lack of utility contact plays out that upper ramp. Even just this one flash they throw just ruins Shox, ruins that whole setup.
Yep. We should really give some credit to NRG. Like, it's hard being down 7-0 and then finding your way back into the game and sort of figuring out what's going on. That's actually
and
difficult.
Hitting tab to see Shox at 17-1.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like there are a lot of things really working against them. So I'm glad to see NRG not crashing out of the game mentally, but sort of saying, you know what, we could just take a timeout, get back into the rhythm of things. They've done just that.
It is very cool, which especially for a team that is so momentum based. Like, I still look at NRG and I say this team is really tough to stop when they get rolling and they start to feel it. Usually those teams also struggle to make comebacks happen, but NRG at the moment with 3 rounds, I mean, they just haven't delivered the knockout punch, right? They haven't actually completely destroyed the economy just yet.
Big chance there. They actually have a 3-man stack over at B, so the fact that they're so quick out ladder room is a really big problem here for G2. This is a brilliant call here for NRG.
But you can see the theory in the defense. Shox takes 1 shot and falls all the way back. Their Ivy defender, Almanac, he's pushed up. He's going to get a big flank coming in again. Is NRG going to be ready for it? They must have this kill on the flank. But a 5-on-5 retake, I don't know how you make this happen.
No, I don't know either. Missed opportunity. They need a kill pretty much right now, otherwise they're simply going to run out of time here. Already a lot of it is past, and there's Lucky picking up Tarek. That's the beginning. Ethan taking a bit of damage. Shox with the kill there on Daps, and finally it's working out. Kenny coming in with the 1 frag, and now Cirque all alone. They are on the bomb already with the kit, and yeah, you just can't get to it. There were 2 people stopping him from that happening, so I'm impressed they got that retake in.
I am too, but I'll have to look at that from the NRG angle and just say, you've misplayed it somewhere. And obviously, we don't get to catch every single frag. It's something you would have to watch over. But, I mean, again, the ladder flank, a victory for G2 coming down that ladder, even fighting in the flames. Shox gets a double kill with the AWP. These are fights that NRG needs to be taking a little bit better when they're closer to the bomb site. Don't be peeking into that AWP. You should never lose. Even if G2 has a 5 players alive, you should never lose when you have 5 terrorists in a post-plant defense of that outer bomb yard.
No, even just playing for time, right? Like, they should have to spend more time looking for you, I guess. Well, here we go. A little bit of a change of pace. They're going to be quick out through the smoke and pop dog, but Shox is going to pick up the 1, and already that is going to slow it down. He almost got that second one through the smoke. Now the bomb is going to be planted. No one there to stop it, but Amanek sneaking in behind. Going to be a quick kill, and they're not even really looking for him yet. There's Cirque covering the line. That's a very important kill.
I like this call from NRG. Go right back to that outer bomb site. Jack's trying to get in. Lucky as well, just made his way down ladder, but he's the only one, and he's going to back off. They have some cash. Shox will be able to buy. Kenny will be able to buy. Almanac will be right on the edge. You imagine G2 is going to invest in this next round. Nice hit from NRG.
Yeah, really, really good job. That's in spite of the fact that they lose the initial fight there to Shox, and then
Almanac with that lurk from Old Hell.
Yeah, so that was 5-on-3, is that true? I think it was. And they still turned it around. 8-4. I feel like NRG, I don't know if they're going to be happy with 4 rounds in the first half, but I think they've at least got to a spot where they have a buffer. and they could still make this game work for them.
It's like I said, like as soon as they actually win a round and take all the economy away, G2 has never had to like save or go down to pistols. This is like the weakest buy they've had this entire half.
The Jack's auto shotgun.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was pretty beastly yesterday, wasn't it? I don't think they're gonna get. There's nothing like ramp room here on Train. Another fast hit towards the outside, just a little bit delayed by a couple seconds to let the utility come out. Shock's over the top. He's got the first.
Oh, he's on the hunt. He jumped down behind him. They heard that. He's still causing a lot of chaos here, but he's going to get taken down, so not quite enough maybe. If the rest of his team could have been fighting in the meantime, that would have been different. Now bomb being planted right in front. Shock's listening. He's really thinking about it, but that smoke, yeah, he doesn't know who's covering on the other side.
Ooh.
Lucky. Could have gone down if he was still peeking, but he's going to go for the fight against Cirque, who's really playing hide and seek, and finally he's going to get found. Org will take him down. Still a 3-on-3 here. Deep Molotov, but Tarek, oh, he's hiding right there, and they have to give it up yet again. These A hits are really brutal.
You can see, I mean, now that the economy is running low for G2, NRG starting to find some success, at least on the trades, getting out into that yard. And Kenny with the AWP as well. I don't even think he was out there. But no armor, he can't commit to too much of a fight.
You know when Jax is sort of jumping down, and I think he got like some pellets onto, oh no.
Oh dear.
That's not good.
What's the call from G2? I think they're gonna have to save. They have the AWP and Shox can buy an Auger and M4, but I think the rest of the money, I think they just might have to save for that last round.
What if Jax, instead of, I understand that he wanted to play like a lot of distraction down in that pop dog.
Yeah.
But because none of his teammates could help, like they couldn't shoot from the other side because of all the smokes. I almost feel like if he had just fired his gun and just sort of went back and pop dog and waited, then that would have slowed down that push a lot. But as soon as they killed him, they were like, all right, fine, we're going.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, the tough part is with the shotgun, it's like when you see you have the opportunity for a fight, like if you give up your position, and like where's going to be the good fight for you if you try and re-aggress later on, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he was also nostalgic for that nuke game. Yes.
Like that nuke play that he had yesterday with the auto shotgun is probably going to have him buying auto shotguns for the next 6 months. That one play.
Yeah, there is an element of human psychology in there in that. You just remember all the times that it did work. Sort of like playing Pokemon. Like that one time you went all in and you got like the, you know, the royal flush at the end and it just worked. You just remember that one time and then every other time you lose.
You're like, I can go all in this situation. I've won it before. Well, that's perhaps why we're not poker players.
Speak for yourself, Moses. I have an online poker career that extends at least for like a week or something.
Where's Kenny as this AWP? He's in connector. That's the big danger weapon. But already a man down. Jackson's going to go, oh my lord. All right, well, Jax has found some information and a kill. He's now got an AK-47. He's got a little bit of armor as well, but terrorists are already out, aren't they? Already streaming into this bomb site. Angles are restricted. There's still 50 seconds. NRG can actually be patient if they'd like to, but it doesn't really matter. Breeze is taking care of everything. And Kenny S not able to do anything with the lone AWP.
No, not yet. Lost it that round. We'll be able to pick it up yet again for round number 15, last of the half. And what has turned out to be a much more even half than it was shaping up to be.
6 of the last 7 have gone to NRG. This has been actually a great half for them.
Yeah, now it definitely is.
Especially considering they were down 7, or was it 6 or 7-0? 7-0. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Ooh, good shot for Kenny. They did have a plan to catch him, but it didn't really work out. Amanek. Can you see them when they fall through the smoke? Maybe there's like a gap that he could do that. I would say that's a scary play to be making. Grenade does land right at his feet. Oh, Kenny. Yeah, he was expecting something more, but they do smoke him off, and actually they smoke off both sides. Grenade might land right on top of them here. Does a little bit of damage. Not as bad as it could have been. Still the 4 versus 5, but the fact that they snuck out here is interesting.
Yeah, he can wrap around and get that same angle just from a different origin. Maybe surprise the defenders. Ethan trying to find a gap in that smoke. He would love to have one. Jax is right next to him. He hasn't seen it just yet. Jax, as soon as he looks up, he's going to realize there's the first. He transfers over. Ethan can't respond in time. Nice double kill for Jax close up. And there's Kenny chiming in from Old Bomb, and it's only Cirque. 1 versus 3. He's got 40 seconds. But he's got a flank coming in and no chance whatsoever. That's a nice half from G2, but a phenomenal recovery from NRG to be 9-6 in the favor of the French team. We'll see how this one's going to finish up after the break.
Welcome back. Second half coming up here between D2 and NRG. We are on train, and this is a best-of-3 game. And it started out just incredibly well for G2, and 7-0, and then we ended up 9-6.
7-0, and Shox was 16-0. And even Kenny had a hot start. I think Kenny got to like 8 or 9 kills in the first 5 rounds or so.
Yes.
And then it all came crumbling down. Cirque gonna push up. Oh, he has the fight he wants. No. That's 3 players, and he's got no backup. How do you get away from here? It actually pulls Breeze back to help out, and they both get dropped. All 3 defenders now, and G2 has a wide open pathway into the bomb site.
Well, biting off more than you can chew, I guess. Just the whole team, more or less, and Hamanek will close it out. I don't know. Those fights are so strange, aren't they? You sort of know, oh no, like that might have been too much. But if you actually land the first USP shot, that can still work. So.
Well, it's when they can start getting the wide angle on you, right? Because once the wide angle comes in, it actually...
Yeah, even the little detail of the first guy jumping, like if the first guy to face you around that corner is jumping, you're like, oh well.
I mean, once they get the wide angle, all the Glocks can get involved. The first kill is huge because it's so narrow angle that you can actually pretty much have a one-on-one fight. But as soon as you miss that, 2 more Glocks streaming out wide on you, that's not going to go well. Ooh. A lot of damage done. Ethan's got a headshot with the scout. He's also got the tag on a Kenny, but immediate return. And all the danger now seems to be avoided for G2 as the kills have come in.
Breeze wants to do something here. I would say try and get the scout away. Put that into good use later on. But it might not even be possible for him to escape. No scope does nothing. That'd
be a good find. Run away.
Definitely run. I've told you already, Dabs. There we go. Yeah, the Glocks are interesting like that, aren't they, Moses? They're sort of like, you know, like they're sort of like those pariah fish.
The what fish?
Are they called pariahs? I don't know.
Piranhas?
Piranhas? I don't know. Are they called piranhas?
Piranhas.
All right, well, there we go. I'm glad you saved me. What's a pariah then?
Pariah is like a social outcast, isn't it?
Maybe.
Or just an outcast, like if you're a social pariah, like you just have no place in society.
Oh.
I think.
Maybe I'm just making stuff up.
Anyways, back to your point about piranhas and Glocks.
It was a good point.
Let's finish this thought.
Yeah, so, you know, just like, you know, once the first one tags you and there's a little bit of blood in the water, then they all just come, you know, come swarming in, chew you up slowly, that kind of thing.
Like you're the cow carcass.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. What is it, they can clean off like a cow carcass in like a minute or something like that?
It's one of those things that everyone says, so I feel like it might just be a myth. You know, like, for some reason, the more people who say something, the less I actually trust it now.
Well, it's almost like a game of telephone. Like, the reality is it's probably like, it's like 10 minutes. But then, you know, some asshole said 9 minutes at one point, and then
more
the next guy says 8 minutes, and then eventually now here we are at 1 minute.
Yeah. Well, somebody will find out. Somebody did message me yesterday. I forgot to respond, but he did say that you actually can wear sunglasses in the face of flashbangs, and it'll be fine. So, well,
I don't know about fine. Your hearing is going to be all messed up. So that's a nice position from Daps to almost pull it off, but they needed...
Quad kill for Shox.
Yeah.
He did say you were going to be deaf, but fine in terms of seeing things.
And vision.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's slightly disappointing from my point of view. That glasses can just counteract flashbangs. A lot of these terrorist models are wearing glasses as well.
I mean, he can counteract the sun on the other hand, so... I don't know.
True.
Well, we'll
come back to that.
Yeah. Topic for another time.
25-4 for Shox. You said you wanted a good game out of him. You said you were getting your hopes up, and you've got it. Not being let down here. They're going to go quick. 2 MAC-10 still. They want to go directly for this fight. A big trade, and that's so fast that the rotations can't even come in. They didn't even wait for that smoke to fade. They just went right through it, not even slowing down for a flashbang. Now the MAC-10 half health on Jax, just above it. And Kenny's got advanced position.
Yeah, but it's actually, there's 1 smoke left on Terek. He has to hold on to. There are 2 Molotovs left on the G2 side. If they have one of them up on the high ground, then, oh, well, no, they don't right now. Lucky's the only one left with 1, and they're both going to fall here. So that's a problem. 2 versus 4 at the moment. And we'll see how this all plays out. Jax and Shox, they should have a pretty hard time holding on to this, but they're very slow on the NRG side. Getting worried about that now. Cirque has the defuse kit at the moment. That Molotov just goes away. They put up another one. He runs right in and tries to get it done. No kit. Oh, they did pick up another one, so that's a good job. NRG able to do it. That was actually quite close at the end.
It really was. I mean, who knows if that kill could have sealed it, how much longer it would have taken for him to get that kill and get back on the bomb. I think they still might have had it, but a cool hit for G2, taking advantage of the fact that they have those MAC-10 still, 2 of them coming through the smokes, and a lack of head armor on the defense still. Plant's going to help them invest, and plenty of nades come out for G2.
Now G finally with chance to stabilize, I think, here in the second half. I mean, they can run this back. This is still a very open game.
Now, all we've seen in these last 2 days of G2's played Train both times against, what, Renegades, and yesterday was... why can't I remember? Ents.
Yeah.
Only able to get in each of those about 2 gun rounds on their T side. Against Renegades, a lot of the success was based off of winning the pistol in the ensuing 2 rounds.
Yeah, we were, I would say, almost offended by how bad those T-sides were.
Yes, and I mean, we might be offended again here. This time it's a very passive setup inside. Ooh, this is so passive at the B-bomb site. I don't know why he's gone back for that peek at that point, but I don't know. I don't know if this retake is possible. That one might open it up. Breeze gets 1. Look at the positions and how fast this bomb has been planted, how aggressive and advanced G2 is.
Yeah, they are really all over the place, although with that kill from Ethan, anything's possible, and I think the timing for Kenny is going to be huge here. When the smoke goes away, that might be everything. He's going to move forward. Ethan right there in front of him, but he wasn't ready for it. Now he's going to fall back onto the sidewalk, and that smoke is still up. Kenny, they almost lined up for the double. There's Breeze taking down Jackson. Shox now in a 1 versus 3. Do they know where he is? Last time he was up at the ramp. This time the bomb is on the other side, and yeah, they're covering it. Another great retake here out of NRG, and a situation that would have been hard to do a lot of times.
I mean, the tough part for G2 is they're getting to this inner bomb site, but they're almost like losing to their own success because they're getting in and they're getting positions, but it's so hard to just hold a position behind a train throughout these retakes. Like, you feel like you have to take a peek at some point, right? You need to know where the retake is going to come from. You're trying to buy time and get into fights, but that's just opening them up to the AWP of Cirque, to the Augs that are just holding the angles next to the trains, and they can't actually survive long enough into the bomb timer to prevent the defuse.
You know what? That could be like a book title, Moses. Losing to your own success. The Counter-Strike Pro Team story.
Yeah, I didn't really know how to phrase that one. I hope that worked.
No, that's perfect, I think. Think about how many teams that would be a fitting description for, you know?
Yeah.
Like Fnatic when they were at their all-time high. Not able, for some reason, not able to, like, whatever, stay friends or whatever the case may be. So,
yeah, they're like, this is really getting boring winning every single event. Maybe we should break up.
Yeah.
We're just too damn good.
Made too much money. It's time to call it off. Fair play.
Everyone else in the community was very happy about that. At least the professional players.
That did create a bit of space, didn't it?
Yeah.
Nice control for Breeze. No problem there. So about to be 12-9, barring, you know... Actually, no. Just about to be 12-9. 22nd round. We'll see. Well, here's a twist. Here's a spin, Moses, for you.
Okay.
The fact that they were doing so badly on Train, you know, earlier in the tournament, means now they've had time to adjust, you know?
Yeah, maybe they're just deciding to, like, add this map into their pool as the tournament goes on. Like, really just kind of iron out all the weaknesses.
Sort of like practice it live.
Yeah.
We don't get better practice, really, so... I guess that makes sense. No, but I just mean, like, they could have gone back to the hotel, spent some time looking at, you know, demos and figuring out...
Yeah, I mean, you'd imagine if you're going to play the map once a day, you might as well talk it over at night, especially when you've only had 2 gun rounds, 1 on the T side, and eventually you'd figure something out, right? Just by, like, process of elimination.
He's so involved there, Coach. I really enjoy it. It's always... And with the hand gestures, well, you got the black book as well.
It's very, very Yanko-like with these hand gestures.
He's very Yanko-like. Maybe
I still think Yanko does it better.
Yeah, I have to agree. But that's also because I think, and this is, you know, meaning no offense, but I should make Yanko's a bit more intimidating, you know?
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, you know, like G2, the unfinished product, the coach, still learning, still figuring out how to get those hand gestures powerful.
Yeah,
really inject some emotion.
Some would say it's even more important than what you... Yeah, say.
And than your actual advice.
Yeah. Just get animated.
4 players for G2 heading towards the inner bomb site. 1 is going to be lurking over towards Ivy. I believe that's Shox.
Do you know what I would love to experience?
What would you love to experience?
I would love it if Henry became the coach of the team. Because he wouldn't obviously be, they would be all negative, wouldn't it? And you would be just disappointment about what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. D Molotov, I don't think it's actually going to stop them from running past. And Lucky, again, they're so aggressive. It's been a theme every time in this B-bomb side, just charging through. In fact, now they're even more aggressive. That's what was missing. They were already aggressive, but now they've really tripled down on it.
Well, this time they've gone so aggressive that they've actually got smoke and Molotovs in the choke point, so NRG can't even stand for the retake, and it actually allows them to be aggressive. Like, if you get stopped halfway through that train yard, that's where your aggression gets dangerous, because you're spread thin from your teammates want to play for the bomb, they can't really help you out. You're a bit overextended. Once you get all the way down to the wall with like 2 players, you know, 1 can be sneaky at awkward angles, 2 can actually just hold down the fort, and that's why we're seeing NRG just give up. I don't want Henry to become a coach, because then that means we wouldn't have him here to hang out with.
No, he'd just double as a...
Okay, so
he'd
be
still
doing
do the job, but he would just show up. You know, for that team, he wouldn't be there. And then
okay, so he's only the coach for like the effect, to stand behind. He's not actually doing the actual coaching in between.
No, we can make him do, but just do double work. It's fine.
Okay. Does he get paid? Not much.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe get paid some peripherals and free
Oh,
t-shirts,
that makes me very happy. He'd love that as well. Henry loves a good peripheral.
What about what would happen to a team if Dan was the coach? And they would have that was Matt laughing in the background. And you know, like it's a critical. You have 30 seconds, Moses. Right now, 30 seconds. You're Dan. 30 seconds. Tell me something important. We need to figure this out right now.
Dan would go too much into the mental game, I think.
Yeah.
Dan would go way deep on like philosophy.
He would spend the 30 seconds setting up for the point that he was about to make, then time would run out.
He'd be like, have you guys ever read the Bruce Lee biography? That you need to be like water.
Oh, he'd bring Art of War, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd do a lot of sense too, wouldn't he?
Read passages from it.
He would just have the Art of War just bookmarked on pages.
This should be a content piece, shouldn't it?
It would be great.
Oh, Dan the coach, I would love that.
You know he'd be doing like Olympic rings in the background as well.
Of course. I would actually really like a piece of content around that. Now, Bardolph the coach as well would be interesting for sure.
I've had Bardolph yell at me in the past.
Yeah?
I don't want to see him yelling at players.
Can you elaborate on that, Mose? What was being yelled?
Just things, stuff.
Just things.
No, I can't repeat.
Oh, okay. Well, now you get everybody curious, you know.
I know. They're gonna have to live with that.
Oh, is he gonna push behind the smoke? Oh no, he doesn't. I feel like that's always an interesting moment. Like when you're standing right there and the smoke sort of like it lands in front of you, you can sometimes just beat the timing by pushing through it, but it's obviously risky. That's weird.
Is that a second Molotov or something, or did it only extinguish a third of it?
I don't think it can. Can it?
I have no idea.
I don't think it can. I think that was a mistake. Little glitch, little happy Bob Ross kind of happy error.
Happy little accident.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Not that happy if you're Ethan.
No, not really. 40 seconds, and they've gone nowhere on the G2 side on the map. They were actually just where they were, 30 seconds ago.
Ooh, this is going to be a disaster for Cirque or a highlight clip. He is in a really tough spot, and he misses. It's actually the disaster for now, but he can bring it back. He can bring it back, but he misses the quick scope. And there goes the rest of the defense, trying to push forward to help out. And Daps is there to secure the bomb site, but Amanek has snuck in behind him. The bomb is so far away, he almost needs to win by elimination, but Daps is somehow just perfectly avoiding him, and he's wrapped all the way around. I don't know if he was spotted, but Daps make the perfect play. 3 kills at the end, and NRG survives.
Yeah, 4 even, I think. Really well done. You know Tarek, who got caught between the trains there?
Yes.
I wonder if, because Cirque survived like 2 seconds longer, Tarek thought, I have to go and help him out. And then Cirque goes down anyway, and then Tarek's like, oh, but now I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, there could be those moments where you're like, I want to help out my teammate, but now I've actually put myself in a worse situation, and it's cost us even more. Good job, though, for NRG to win that round. It didn't look like they were always going to do that. It looked like it was about to go horribly wrong.
I thought G2 was going to take that away, I'm not going to lie to you. As soon as I saw that first player go down in the position of Cirque, I was like, this is, they could get overrun very, very easily here.
Daps.
The savior.
Yeah. Grinding on them.
Nice Canadian lad.
Oh. Coming through the smoke. The flashbang, though, is great. The one that Shock set up. Cirque gets through. And Ethan is there for the spray. And he could have probably continued that, but he's going to go down to Shocks instead. So a quick 2-on-2. All the action happening in a span of like 5 seconds, and Breeze, that is the bomb. Now it's on Kenny, and actually his AK so far in the game has been fairly crisp, so they need it now more than ever. He's managed to sneak all the way past. He did see the player, but had to do a bit of a double take, and now he's just hunting for Daps. I don't think Daps has any idea, so I did say crisp, but that took a little bit of a spray. Gonna go for it. Oh, and there's the headshot. Kenny able to take him down. Critical round here for G2, 14-10.
Well, that second one was crisp.
Yeah.
Really nice clutch from Kenny, yes. This time, Daps has the unlucky side of the timing. Cirque does everything he can, but this is a couple rounds now. I mean, this is the problem if you're going to play the aggressive op style, right? Is once your teammate goes down, you're in a really tough spot. We've seen Cirque around that E-box area get really, really hassled 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, anticipating the grenade there, Jax. Didn't really want to go for it. They're worried about IV aggression, it seems like, on the G2 side, although none has really come out. In fact, NRG have not been super aggressive at all, have they? I guess their retakes on B have been great, and they've managed to hold A, so maybe they feel like they don't need to be really aggressive or anything. So that maybe that could be they don't have a lot of room to play with, but if they wanted to change something, that could be it.
Yeah. The big thing has been the scoreline.
And the money on NRG.
Yeah, that's been, I mean, when you're down, what were they, 6 to 12 at one point, it's hard to kind of make those aggressive calls. Ethan far back, they want to emphasize Ivy here, 2 defenders ready to spin and defend that choke point. But as you said, the utility is dangerous because now there's smoke fades in T-mid. Now there's smoke fades in ladder room, and Ethan's going to have to rotate over to protect the bomb site. That leaves the one sole defender in Ivy. He's blind for now. They predict it, but Breeze has that with the MP9. The pre-fire's not going to connect.
Good refrag there coming through. Shock's able to pick that one up. Ooh. Oh, and he saw that coming. That was well read. Jax, nothing but the head showing. Lucky long range to take down Tarek. And that is going to leave Daps on his own. Jax with a very beautiful round here. Double for him. That's going to be 15, and all the money is gone. They just don't have anything.
Yeah, they won't. They're not going to have much to fight with for that final round to try and force overtime. Even if they are, this G2T side looks much more effective against NRG than what we've seen in the past couple days against Ensign Renegades.
They adjusted, Moses. They managed to learn. Third time.
First time for everything.
That is also true. Yeah, I'm happy to see this. I want this version of G2. Just needs to continue throughout the tournament. It would be cool if they sort of slowly ramped up. You know, it got better and better and better.
As the event went on?
There are some...
Well, what they tweeted, Shox tweeted out, you know, the last event that he won was actually the DreamHack Masters event in Malmo.
Yeah.
I believe
Throwback.
2 years ago?
Yeah,
1 year ago? I think it was 2017.
Yeah, I want to say. Okay. The fist bump was exchanged for a high five at the end. They wanted a different currency.
What if you do high fives in your teammate's hand? What if there's one of the guys who like has sweaty palms, and that messes up the feel of your hand on your mouse?
Yeah.
Gotta be careful with the open palmed high fives.
What if both have sweaty palms and you could see it sort of like, you know, if they slap hard enough, like that actually sort of like sprays, you know, out from...
Why you gotta make it disgusting, dude?
I don't know. Lots of people have that problem. I don't think, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, if I was on a team, I would make it so that you do coordinated high fives. Like every other person does them up, every other person does them down, and then you'll do it at the same time.
Okay.
So it becomes like a team thing, you know?
Like synchronized high fiving.
Yeah, like a little bit of a brand, you know.
I don't think anyone's gonna be intimidated by seeing that. I think they would just laugh at you.
You say that, Moses, but you haven't seen it yet.
It's true. Like, I could be wrong.
So like a war cry, you know, that kind of thing, you know.
Daps could save the day again. He could also rotate out of this position because his teammates are feeling pressure and then get destroyed. Which, ooh, he's got the first. Oh, in a second. That's a great adjustment. Nice job from Daps. They've also spotted the bomb. You could see the mini-map. The rotations are coming in for NRG, but G2 has plenty of time to readjust to another part of the map if they choose to.
It would be wild if they stay in the game with an AUG and 2 scouts and some pistols, offers a double kill for Daps. He's been playing a great game, hasn't he, Daps? Like, so far here on Train, it's been amazing.
Yeah, 18 and 18. Breeze is 17 and 16. Then Ethan and Cirque are down at 14 and 13. But Shox is the real exclamation point of this game. 28 and 9. Jax is 20 and 17. He's putting together a good tournament so far. This is going to be really tough. Scout on Breeze, Op on Cirque is the other weaponry here. That's a great shot from Jax. But there's Cirque with, oh no, he's got a Scout as well. He's got 2 kills on top of it. It's just Shox. He's been tagged, even some falling damage, and finished off. Nice job from Cirque.
He missed no shots at the end. He just got all 4 of them. That's
the Bulgarian Bulldog.
Yeah. Very, very cool, isn't it? 15 to 11. They were going to be out right here, at least out of the map. Like no money at all. 3 of them had $0 when they lost that round and put G2 on 15. So I am actually kind of impressed. And now, still AKs in the hands of G2, but very limited on the grenades. And one of them with the CSAT 75, as you can tell. So the fight continues. If it goes into overtime, well,
there's a chance for NRG. I mean, if they win this round, it's G2 who are going to be out of money in the next one, and then all of a sudden you're looking at 12 to 15, 3 rounds left to win, and at least one of those is going to be a very weak pistol buy. So not the worst position to be in. If you're NRG, you have a little bit of renewed hope. Oh, Daps might have given away his position, but Lucky doesn't want to mess with it. That's such a commitment to just pierce straight down, and he just wants to fall away. He knows Daps, even with that shot fire, just called for a rotation. At any moment, someone could show up. So smart play from Lucky, preserving his life for the later stages of this round. Then G2 falls back from inner. 2 players going to be an IV. You imagine Jackson, Kenny S going to go towards mid, and we're going to get a late hit with Lucky coming down ladder.
yeah, that's what it feels like. They have been looking at Ivy for a while, so I guess they sort of know that. Good timing on the smoke there for Tarek. That's certainly going to be a little bit annoying. And actually, they have a fair few grenades left, still on the NRG side. So it's not impossible that they could delay things even further if they manage to get the timing down right. Especially one of those Molotovs, if they get that on the bomb, I'm sort of wondering. Yeah, there's one for Tarek. A little bit more time. They are going to have to try and push forward, and they do extinguish it. 27 seconds, trying to push out. Jackson Lucky with big openings, and now Breeze, he gets caught. Great revenge. Cirque again with the Scout. Can he land another headshot? It doesn't happen, and now it's 2-on-1. 15 seconds left here. The bomb now being held by Daps. They're going to try and pick it up, but he gets the kill with the UMP, and he knows the bomb is there. 10 seconds. I don't actually think he can do it. I don't think Shox can get the bomb and get back in time. That's going to be the round, no doubt about it. Daps, 1 UMP kill to seal the deal, and they're at 12.
Dirty Daps. That was a disgusting shot to keep things in their favor. He's even got the AK at the end. Shox didn't even move a muscle. And no bonus money for Shox either. He's on 700 with that AK-47. And that scares me a little bit, because when you have an AK-47, maybe you feel pressured to buy up armor and deagle in this round, but if you're G2, just want to say, save everything. Don't invest. Yeah, this is fine. CZ, P250, Flashbanger 2 here or there to help Shox. But play for round 29.
Yeah, make sure that it ends and that it doesn't just get weird.
Especially because you've been actually doing such a good job of eliminating players from the NRG side. Oh, they saw this boost. They know he's here. They're going to be aiming right at him. Good job from Breeze and Tarek and Ethan chiming in as well. And they hold things down. There goes Shox. But all these kills are valuable. As I was just saying, they've done such a good job of getting kills. Even that Shox and Daps thing coming into a one-on-one, they haven't been able to build up any money. So we've seen Cirque have great action on the Scout, right? But it'd be so nice if he had an AWP.
Does make a difference, doesn't it?
They just can't afford it. Still, it's going to be 5 rifle setup for the defense. All right, well, Daps and Cirque have money but no kit at 13-15, so they're going to get fined. They're going to send a message to the NRG organization. Don't want to buy that $400 kit.
Just not interested.
Take $4,000 out of the paycheck.
That should definitely be a rule, shouldn't it?
Yep.
Jax is taking down Ethan, and that is not a good start here for NRG, who are 1 round away from losing the map. Tarek and Amanek are 2 people that really have not had a good game, both on 9 kills.
I don't actually wish ill upon them, but no. I would like to see this round come to a defuse for Daps or Cirque.
I'm not trying to say we should, you know...
And just not have a kit.
Flog them or anything. I'm just saying.
I would like that to happen, to a certain extent.
Yeah. Well, Really serious about it, Moses. If we could find them later.
Just learn him a lesson.
Motivation of a kind. 29th round here, and 45 seconds. G2 setting up for another execute here on the A-bomb side. They line up for Breeze, and he's going to take both down with the bomb as well. He saw that definitely. And Breeze actually just continuing. That's the third kill of the round for him. And he's still alive back here. And I don't know, like, he just shut the whole offense down. Well done. Yeah, claps are in order.
So a little bit of life left in this NRG team. 4 in a row now for them, which means the losing bonus is going to be in the favor of G2. But 15-14 now. That AUG is just so tough to deal with, holding those angles.
It is, but at the same time, they'd smoked off behind them. They were all really only meant to be peeking at that angle. Yeah. I'm going to say, I think G2 should have done better.
Okay, that's fair.
If they had to peek both angles and they had like 3 people coming out, but 1 or 2 of them had to hold the other side and it was just one of them taking the fight, I would have been like, yeah, that's fine. But they actually had planned for that. And still they couldn't do it. Tarek trying to see if he could take a little bit of control in the game. Does push into main. They are close a lot of the time to making this A execute work, so maybe that's why they're coming back to it all the time.
Well, what's kind of be frustrating for G2 is they're actually leading in first kills, 19-10.
That's a significant lead.
But you're not actually closing out the game on some of those, so that's got to be a bit stressful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're sort of almost lured into a sense of like, it is working, but it's not.
Every time your team gets a first kill, if you're G2 on this T side, you just feel like such a sense of relief as his teammates, as the other players, and then to not have that ever rewarded with a round win is really, really tough.
Wow.
Smoke into the choke point, going to delay things a bit longer. I don't know if they cleared this corner out. This has got to be a hard one to check.
They definitely don't.
You've got so many other angles to worry about.
Yeah, no way. Oh, well, now they might. I feel like that might cause a further suspicion. I was going to say, otherwise only Sip would clear that corner. 20 seconds. They're just waiting. Why are they waiting such a long time? And the smoke, sure, but flashbang is through. Tarek still looking. They don't check it. They line up for him, and he's going to get a great double spray down with 10 seconds. And they can't even make it onto the side, can they? Cirque just waiting on the other side. 6 seconds left. They have to go straight for the bomb plant. Lucky gonna pick up one. The bomb, it does go down, but still Lucky out in the open, and that's gonna be overtime. NRG, great comeback, amazing comeback, in fact, on the second half here.
Yeah, what a really gritty job from NRG to come back. I mean, even 5 rounds in a row right at the end. That is a thing of beauty. And you had everyone kind of stepping up. Breeze had some phenomenal rounds. Daps has been playing excellent. He's had some very impactful saves. Cirque has been good with the snipers. So finally, NRG come alive right at the end here in this position from Tarek, just sealed it. Even if he doesn't get that 3rd kill, I mean, the distraction it causes, the amount of time it burns off the clock, the way it disjoints the attack.
Yeah, really, I mean, I'm kind of impressed. It just looked like G2 were going to completely sweep NRG. Again, remember, they took that one tactical timeout, then they started winning sort of a string of rounds. Good signs overall for a team. It's impressive. Well,
15-15, overtime has begun at 16K start money. 3 rounds per half in overtime. Double op setup. G2's like, oh, we're rich. Let's get 2 ops.
Rich. I don't remember to do that, Moses.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not really rich.
That's
unless
my fault,
yeah. Yeah. It's fine, Moses. We'll,
I'll make up for it.
Yeah. We'll get it back. Setting up for the inside smoke here on C connector, and then they're going to try and push down. But there are already 2 people on B, so that it's only beneficial if they can actually get these kills, and they're going to get one traded in. Daps usually rock solid on this bomb side. He's only going to get the 1 kill. There's the smoke off from the hallways, and now Cirque going to be pushing in behind. Almost runs into the fire there. Oh, flick misses for Kenny. He's down to 4 health. 1 grenade. I think it's coming in any second. Almost. He makes it out. That's actually huge. And at the meantime, it's a 3-on-3, health heavily in favor of NRG. They have been excellent at retaking this B bomb site. Let's see if they can do it here in the overtime. Cirque is out, and that's a big deal. He's been amazing so far, too. Oh, the timing, making it back around, and the smoke blocking him Jax. He probably should have been dead that first time around, but he lives to get a kill, and G2 pick up the round, the first one here at overtime.
Oh, nice inner hit and a great post plant. kennyS being aggressive with that AWP, knowing the HP is low, knowing he has to do something to alleviate the pressure. Finding Cirque is huge. That allows more freedom because the AWP is not pinning you down behind the trains. 16-15.
What a relief for G2 after struggling to pick up a round at the end of it, especially on the T side. So just the one makes a big difference. If they could get one more, they're going to go for the same thing. Well, except for the fact that there's a person further behind here. Shox probably setting up for something.
Oh dear. This fake is not going to work because Ivy's already been cleared out. They know the hit is not coming towards outside. One kill, Molotov down as well. How does G2 make it into this bomb site? Cirque narrowed in on sidewalk. Flashbang comes out. He's completely negated for the moment, but they haven't taken advantage of it. And there's Kenny posted up for the rotation, but Dap's still alive inside the bomb site, and G2 have not made their final move. I don't think they're going to expect this position, and meanwhile, the flank has been coming in this whole time. It's being watched by Almanac. That's the bomb down. Now they definitely can't plan, and now it's all NRG. Tied up 16.
They were outplayed, weren't they?
Yeah.
That was a great defense.
It's just almost like lingering too long without making a commitment, you know?
Yeah.
Like not actually going into the bomb site to get the plant, not really falling back or keeping an eye on your flank. That is a good amount of resistance provided by NRG and them taking this site that just dissuaded them from moving forward.
It's actually so cool. Oh. Wow.
A little bit lower.
Just a little bit. Oh, that's a great save. Shox living, Jax being allowed to get that kill on Breeze. The first round in overtime that G2 won here, they go for that inside smoke on Z connected, and they go for B. Next round, they go for the same inside smoke, but they followed up with that fake grenade that Shox was throwing.
Yeah.
So they actually used the fact that the previous round was successful to set up for the second round then, which, you know, again, they try and fake it out. I think that is very cool. Good thinking out of the Frenchman.
Just partially negated by that Ivy push.
It was like, I mean, yeah, they didn't make it. It wasn't a success, but
yeah,
the thinking is great.
Well, another round with the opening kill for G2. They've got the opening 2. Should be able to put this away. Aggressive Cirque, but that smoke is going to hide the jump out. That's a great aggressive peek. Spinning him around. Daps now with the AWP, and it's all evened up all of a sudden. Can G2 actually get in here? The AWP's missing all across the map.
Man, Cirque could have easily been dead then. That was very close. Now it's lucky instead to go down, and Cirque just crouching to get that kill. He is so unbelievably fast with that AWP. You sort of said that they were a momentum-based team, and you see with people like Cirque why that has to be true, because when he started to feel it, it's just way off the charts. Peeks his head off a little bit. Oh, right out of the sky. It's 17-6, and NRG back in the lead here in overtime.
G2, some of those rounds, is not able to apply enough pressure into the bomb sites in this overtime. I think that one there was a product of the 2 AWP setup. Shox and Kenny, neither one can really aggress upon the site.
Do you think somebody from the audience could get like a clip of that, of Kenny jumping like that, and they could put like the R. Kelly, you know, I Believe I Can Fly track on? Could they do that? And they have it like...
Probably. Are people still allowed to listen to R. Kelly music?
Yeah, I think you could listen to it. It does make you feel uncomfortable, but you can. I mean,
it's a nice shot.
Yeah.
17-16. We've come out of the sci-fi hype-up music at overtime halftime.
The music and the breaks for this DreamHack has been amazing.
DreamHack always has great break music.
Yeah, they do a good job
because they avoid EDM.
That's actually the secret.
Get that trash out.
If only we could have known. Oh, Jax opening up here. Good news for G2. Want to get back and even out the scoreline. Overtime, the first game of the day. What have we done to deserve it? 4-5 right now. G2. Yeah, they should probably be playing more passively, right? Got that early kill.
Another opening kill. They're just racking up the advantage. They're going to be kicking themselves if they can't close this map out, if they somehow let this slip away with all the openings they've had. NRG coming inside. Ethan doesn't even want to waste the Molotov. It's the only nade he's got. Might want to use that for a connector, maybe for a post plant. And this is only a 3-man hit, which it means it's nice that Shox is the only defender at B. Keep your eye on that orange dot over towards Ivy. Breeze. How aggressive does he want to be now? Does he want to try and pull someone away by getting a pick? Does he want to turn into a lurk? I think he's got to be a lurk at this point.
Shox. He really wants them to go for that peak, and they kind of want to as well, but they get down clean to get the bomb plant after a 4-on-5. There's Breeze, who said keep an eye on him, and they weren't. Lucky will go down instead. So going to get dropped by Jackson. Kenny also got a kill in the meantime, so still a 2-on-3. Trying to get back to the bomb is Tarek, and there were a lot of people covering there, and Breeze, he can't stop the bomb plant. That's going to be 17 rounds for G2. Aggressive clapper. Yeah, there's the energy.
That's just good awareness from G2. When that kill comes out for Breeze over towards Ivy, they realize if there's going to be a lurker, they've got a real chance to get in and start that defuse that wasn't planted for him.
Moses, this color that you said keep an eye on the orange dot. Is it actually orange? I feel like this is like...
I don't know, is it like a yellow?
Yeah,
mustard yellow?
But it's like right in between, so you don't know. That's frustrating.
Okay, you can go with the yellow. I'm not upset about it.
Me neither, but I'm just... Oh, Jax is definitely upset though. Kenny, a little bit of a save there. Amanek does go down, but that was so quick. He didn't even get a chance to really put his feet down there in Pop Dog, and they'd already run him over. Bomb plant, NRG back to the A-bomb site. They've been so successful out here. G2 can't stop it.
They've started to really, this double op setup for G2 is, for me, it's kind of falling flat here because I just see so many ways. If NRG is going to be that aggressive getting into the bomb sites with their execute, you know, the ops kind of get negated, and then you're in so many retake scenarios as well. We saw on the T side not able to attack bomb sites aggressively enough because of 2 AWPs trying to actually lead the way. So I think G2's got to make an adjustment here and pick up another M4 on Shox or an AUG or whatever you want to play with. But if NRG is going to keep up this faster paced style, which you got to assume they will in this last round, the double ops, I think, is going to get negated again.
It's just that now you've lost a fair few rounds on the A-bomb side. Now would actually, I don't know if they have timeouts left, but if they do, now would be a good time to have a discussion about that. Say, like, we need to make sure that doesn't happen in this final round. G2 fighting for double overtime, and NRG, they could steal it all away. What a win that would be for them. Lucky. Just set up in case anyone tries to rush him down or anything like that. Shox. Would he be daring enough to try and climb up that ladder? He really wants to, doesn't he?
Yeah, what a gamble that would be.
Oh.
This is a...
It's going to go too far.
Engagement. Yeah, but I think with throwing that, he might have spotted it out. Okay, so that's done the same thing.
Yeah. Ooh. Nicely done. Oh, and they're down in the smoke in front. Tarek, is he going to click the... He's thinking about it. Oh, there's Shox instead. What a standoff.
What an awkward moment. Either way, Shox, another opening kill for G2, trying to force us into double overtime. It's NRG who's trying to close this out right here, right now. Utility coming out onto the bomb site. Kenny with the AWP playing far back. Made passive by the smokes, and he's just gonna, they're all gonna back away. This is gonna be a classic G2 retake. We saw them with success, and the flank is gonna come in from ladder room. That's Jax moving into position. Can NRG actually get into good post plans?
Yeah, that's the one thing. They're kind of aware of it. There are no more grenades left on NRG either, but still a 4-on-4 here. They're waiting for Jax. They know he's coming. They see it, they read it so well. He still wins that fight, and a great follow-up. What a flank from Jax, almost taking down Stoke, but Kenny will finish him off, and now it's on Breeze. It's not done yet. He's going to get the headshot. Shox on the other side. He's going to sit on the plant. He's just going to hold it in. He doesn't have the health to fight this. One more second left, and Breeze, oh, he's going to be, oh, he does get it right at the end. I thought that defuse was definitely going to come through. It's NRG to steal it away in overtime. I would love to see a replay of that. There must have been less than a second left.
Yeah, that was a big peak from Breeze. I almost didn't think he was going to make it happen. It looked like he was going to shift away, but that is such a gutting loss for G2. I mean, we don't have the stats all compiled or anything like that, but the amount of opening kills that G2 had, at one point it was 19-10, right at the end of regulation.
Yeah.
You should be winning with that kind of a disparity in the first kill, you know, statistic.
Yeah, definitely should. I mean, they're going to have some a tricky conversation.
I wish I could speak French. I would go hang out and listen to them yell at each other.
Yeah, that would be worth doing. Maybe we could send
Maniacs.
Yeah, you're
gonna have to hop on the desk, though.
I was going to say Stunner.
He does speak French.
At least
little known fact.
We're going to go to a break, and then we'll be back with map number 2. Stay tuned.